All right, ready for a deep dive. Today, we're looking at what happens when you step outside your comfort zone.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. It's all based on the journey of Alex and Mia.
Ah, interesting.
And get this, it even has learning tips woven in for practicing English.
Clever.
It's like an adventure story and a language lesson all in one. So have you ever felt that, urge to explore, go beyond your usual routine?
That's what our protagonists, Alex and Mia, decide to do.
Exactly. So picture this. Harmony, this peaceful village. The story really sets the scene.
I was going to say, I bet it does.
The narrator uses details like birds chirping.
Ah.
You can practically hear it, right? But our two friends, Alex and Mia, they're longing for something more, something beyond harmony.
This is where the language itself starts to hint at deeper themes.
Oh, interesting.
Mia's line, what if we try, life is too short to stay in one place forever.
Wow.
It's simple but profound, a
Yeah.
call to action, rejecting complacency.
It's true. And what I find interesting is they're adventurous, but they're not reckless.
Right.
They pack food, water, a map, a compass. Mia even brings a notebook to capture their discoveries.
It's a nice blend of impulsiveness and practicality.
So true. A lot of us can relate to that.
Absolutely. Subtly highlighting the importance of preparation.
Even when you're being spontaneous.
And that notebook, clever detail. It shows a desire to document, to make sense of things through writing, which is valuable for any language learner.
Okay, so before they set off, they list their goals. Learn new things, help others, stay curious. Seems simple enough.
On the surface, yeah.
But I bet those goals become more complex as they go.
You're spot on. Those goals are like subtle learning tips themselves. Encouraging the reader, maybe an English learner, to think about their own motivations, to approach it with purpose.
Okay, challenge number 1. Crossing the Whispering Hills. The story uses sound effects like wind blowing, distant birds calling.
Creates an atmosphere.
But even with those calming sounds, Alex gets a little doubtful. And this is where Mia comes in.
Powerful reminder, I bet.
Remember our list, Alex. Goal number 3, stay curious. What if we discover something amazing on the other side?
Mia's words are more than encouragement. It's a lesson in positive self-talk.
Like, what if, instead of focusing on the challenges?
Exactly. Focusing on the potential rewards.
And what happens? Their curiosity leads them to, guess what?
What?
A rare star bloom flower. Shimmering petals, the story rewards their curiosity with something beautiful and wonderful. It's like every little plot point has this deeper meaning.
It reinforces the idea that curiosity can lead to unexpected rewards. And the way it's described, shimmering petals, it appeals to the senses.
You can really picture it.
It shows how descriptive language enriches the story.
So on the other side of the hills, they run into Mr. Carter, a kind merchant.
That's helpful.
He gives them a map and he says, wherever you go, spread kindness.
Simple statement.
But it feels really important, you know?
What's intriguing is how clear and concise that sentence is. Helpful for a language learner focusing on basic structure. Shows how impactful simple communication can be.
So true. You don't need fancy grammar to make a point.
Yeah.
So with their map and Mr. Carter's advice, they head off. But then in a dense forest, they come across a family of, get this, lost deer.
Lost deer, literally.
Literally. And what do? They stop to help.
Even though they're lost themselves.
It would have been easy to keep going, but they chose compassion.
That moment adds complexity. Raises questions about empathy, responsibility, the interconnectedness of things.
Makes you wonder if helping others is part of staying curious too, you know?
Interesting.
Not just exploring new places, but exploring kindness.
I like that. And it's interesting, the story uses this whole lost deer thing. It's a common idiom, someone who's confused or disoriented.
Right.
Here they are, literally lost deer. It's a play on words while teaching a lesson.
It's true. 2 lessons in one. And the story doesn't just say helping is good.
No.
It shows the benefits. They use their map to guide the deer to a stream.
Where other animals are.
Yeah. And by doing that, they find their way out of the forest.
Wow, that's neat.
It's like kindness leads to unexpected solutions.
Precisely. Focusing on others' well-being can bring clarity to our own lives.
This story's got more depth than I thought. It's not just adventure, it's about personal growth.
Yeah.
How we're all connected.
And it does it in such an accessible way.
I know, right?
Like Mia says, we did it. Helping others really does make you feel good.
Simple, but powerful.
Anyone can understand that, no matter their language level.
That feeling of accomplishment, it goes beyond words.
Absolutely. And by showing it through Mia, the story's encouraging the reader, maybe an English learner, to connect with that emotion.
It reminds us language is more than just words. It's how we express ourselves, connect with others.
On a deeper level, yeah.
It's amazing how we can analyze a simple story and find all this meaning.
I know, right?
It's like language learning itself is a journey, always discovering something new.
That's a great analogy. And like Alex and Mia's trip, it's rarely a straight line to fluency.
True.
There'll be challenges, doubts, detours. But if you embrace it with curiosity, kindness, that willingness to keep going,
They'll get there.
you'll reach your destination. Speaking of which, Alex and Mia, after months of travel,
They finally return to harmony.
home again.
But they're not the same kids who left. They've got stories, friendships, a deeper understanding of the world.
In themselves,
Their return to harmony, it's symbolic, don't you think?
in many ways.
It's not about escaping your roots, but coming back with a new perspective.
integrating what you've learned into your life and the lives of those around you.
And they don't keep it all to themselves. The story says they share their adventures, their lessons, with the whole village.
Inspiring everyone.
It's like they brought a piece of the world back home.
That storytelling is so important. It shows how language bridges divides, creates a shared humanity.
It goes beyond just recounting events.
It weaves a tapestry of experiences connecting them to their community.
They started out yearning for something more, and they ended up realizing the importance of connection.
To what they already had.
And it's language that lets them share that realization.
Powerful stuff.
Their journey helps everyone grow, not just themselves.
It's proof of the power of travel, experience, and sharing stories.
What really stands out to you about their return? What's the key takeaway for our listener, especially someone learning a language?
What strikes me is their journey made them appreciate home more. They left seeking more, but found fulfillment in understanding what they already had.
That's deep.
It's like with language learning, we look to other cultures, but it can also make us appreciate our own language, our own heritage.
It's like learning a new language opens your eyes to the beauty of the one you already speak.
Exactly, rediscovering the familiar through the lens of the unfamiliar.
And they don't just reflect on the past, they look ahead too.
Oh, how so?
The last learning tip asks, what did you learn from this story? Like an invitation to apply the lessons to our lives.
That question is so simple, but so effective.
It makes you think.
It encourages active engagement, going beyond just reading, considering the message personally.
It's like the story saying, okay, you went on this trip with Alex and Mia, now what are you going to do with it? It's a call to action, to use those lessons, curiosity, kindness, perseverance, in our own language learning and in life.
Exactly. It all ties together. It's not just about the words.
Right.
It's about how we approach life itself.
It really feels like a complete journey, you know? Started with that yearning for something more, ends with appreciating home.
What's interesting is the language reflects that homecoming. When they describe coming back, it's all familiar, warmth, belonging.
It's cozy.
Yeah, comforting words compared to the more adventurous language of their travels.
So the words themselves show a shift in how they see things,
They're not chasing the unknown anymore. They're embracing what they know.
but with a deeper understanding.
Exactly. And that's reflected in how they talk to the villagers, too.
Oh, how so?
The story says they use vivid language to describe their experiences.
So they're better storytellers now.
It suggests their communication skills have grown. They can connect with others through their stories.
It's not just about what they learned out there,
It's about how they learn to express it.
which is a big part of language learning.
Absolutely. It's not just understanding, it's using the language to share yourself.
And the story shows Alex and Mia doing exactly that.
Connecting with their community.
It's a great example for anyone learning English.
Fluency isn't just about tests.
Right.
It's about using language to build bridges, share stories, connect.
This whole idea of connection, it's really central to the story, isn't it?
It is connecting with places, people, and ultimately yourself.
On a deeper level.
That's a great message for anyone, especially language learners. It's saying learning a language isn't just a skill.
It's bigger than that.
It's expanding your world, opening up to new possibilities.
And connecting with humanity as a whole.
Beautifully said.
It reminds me of that final learning tip, asking, what did you learn from this story? It's like a challenge to apply it all.
To our own lives as learners, as global citizens.
Exactly. The magic of the story is, it doesn't just tell us something, it invites us in.
To become part of it.
To think about our own journeys, to embrace curiosity, kindness, lifelong learning.
Well put. That's the real takeaway.
So to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the journey of Alex and Mia. We hope it's inspired you to see the world and your language learning with fresh eyes.
May your adventures be filled with wonder, connection, and the joy of discovery.